Okay, so hi everyone. Forgot to put the wait screen on. So we're starting early and you get to see me in my pensive, waiting, are things happening mode. Anyways, sorry about that. I forgot that I had this going. Hello. Let me just quick check. I know there's an echo happening. There we go. Okay, that's gonna get rid of the echo. Hello, hi. Oh my gosh, I am excited for today because I have some fantastic minis for you from our UPM Wave 15 round that will be coming out. Yeah, right, behind the scenes, exactly. So basically what's going to be happening today, give me one quick minute, my darlings. Here we go. So basically what's going to be happening today is I'm going to be showing you a portion of Wave 15 for the unpainted miniatures that are expected to come out in July. One thing I want to make sure is clear though is that I touch upon the fact that people have been mentioning, hi and howdy, how are ya? People have been mentioning the whole factor about release date shifting. This is one of those things where, hello Band of Badgers, this is one of those things I wanted to put out there on the table just to make people aware of the situation that there are still things happening at a global level. And if you're not aware of this, I do suggest you go check out NPR at a global level where shipments are still very unpredictable. So WizKids is doing their best to get things out and to the stores. The problem is, you know when you've ordered something and you go and you check on the status of the package and it's sitting at a sorting facility. And you go back the next day and it's still at that sorting facility. And you go back 3 days later and it's still sitting at the sorting facility. That's pretty much the same thing that's happening, except with bigger quantities and larger shipments, which means it takes more time. So that is why you are going to be noticing the phrasing is shifting a little bit. We're not going into specific dates. We are giving targeted months at this point because we want to give you an idea as to when these things are to be expected. But we also don't want to disappoint you by saying, hey, it's coming out on this date, and you go and check it out for that date, and that's not the situation. So just keep in mind when we're saying summer 2021, that means we know it's going to be coming out then. There's just some other things happening behind the scenes. Or if we're saying July 2021, then do expect July. So what I wanted to do is show you the Pathfinder, the brand new Starfinder, yes, brand new line you get to see today. And then also we'll switch gears. There's a reminder I want to do in terms of news beyond this shipment news. And then we'll take a look at the WizKids deep cuts. So basically this is the deep cuts grouping. What I'm going to do next week is we'll take a look at the Gnolzers as well as the Magic the Gathering, like basically taking a look at the WotC lines for the UPM that you can expect. Now I am very excited about these Pathfinder and Starfinder, especially the Starfinder. Let's chat about that. You may be familiar with the fact that there are now some releases in the Starfinder for miniatures. Started out with Galactic Heroes and Galactic Villains, which are available in stores if you want to take a look at those if you're into playing Starfinder and need things for your table. Then we shifted into having this fantastic Planets Apparel, which is an awesome release. If you missed that, we do have an unboxing stream here on the channels that you can check out. And in tandem with that, there are now some unpainted miniatures that are coming out to coincide with the Starfinder Battles. So there will be a brand new line of Starfinder Battles deep cuts that we're going to take a look at today, and they are cool. But first, I thought it'd be fun to start off with our classic Pathfinder deep cuts. Again, targeting for July 2021. If you see something you like, pardon me while I take a sip of tea. If you see something you like, that is where I'm going to encourage you to reach out to your local store. Let them know that you are looking for these particular miniatures. I have made sure in the description on YouTube, I put these in after the fact on Twitch. I made sure in the description on YouTube, you have the name and the SKU, everything you're going to see today. I will mention price points to you as well, just to help out here. It's the pretty standard UPM price codes. UPM is short for unpainted miniatures, for those of you who might be new to this. And hello, R. Martinez, my hair looks nice. I just let it do its thing today. This is my natural state of hair, and it was one of those things, the morning got away from me. So all of this that I'm presenting to you, if you are new, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. That would be lovely. That would be wonderful. That would be very much appreciated. I don't think I took a sip of tea because I was chatting the whole time, because it's, you know, chatterbox mode. Oh, so much better. Okay, so Starfinder. Now, I have the miniatures from the photography session, which means they have been taken out of their blisters. But what I do have are cards that I can show you as well, which will give you the name, the SKU, and the render, and everything like that. Just pay no attention to the fact that there is a whoops on the back, because this is something normally sent to stores. So it's still a fun way of showing you what these miniatures look like and everything. But I'm just not going to be taking them out of the blisters, so no flinging the blisters out of frame like I know many of you enjoy seeing. Also, do let me know if there are any audio issues. I think we're still good. Yeah, we're still good. Oh, this octopus, it's my friend, my darling Ara Savad. She sent this to me. She's making beautiful jewelry. So yeah, I wanted to wear it because it was a special little gift that I just recently got. I'm random factoid, I'm one who loves getting jewelry from people because whenever I wear it, it reminds me of the person. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to go through Pathfinder, and we're going to flip over to our overhead settings. So you can see I have my lovely little photo booth set up here. Hi. Also remember that since I am dealing with some variety of miniatures, there will be, she says as she pulls up the necessary equipment, there will be some shifting and focus and everything like that, because I want to be sure that you're getting the best visual on it as possible. So the first one we're going to take a look at from the Pathfinder Battles Deep Cuts coming out with Wave 15 is the male halfling monk. And this is what I said, don't worry about that whoops, that's more for stores. And I can see already, because I was focusing on something else larger. Let me just work on, there we go. So here you can see, it's one of those 2-pack deals, okay? Not 2-pack, 2-pack, like 2 minis in a pack. So this is a $4.99, and this is the Pathfinder Battles. Look for that purplish background. And here on the back, you get the rendered, painted versions of the miniatures. Hello, Valerius! And here's your SKU, 90328. So that gives you basically the idea of what they would look like painted up and everything along those lines. Let's take a look at these two as we go along. So again, remember, these are Gnome, which means they are small. They come with a classic black disc, and oh yeah, these are small. Let's work on our focus. Okay, so here you can see your first fellow. Lovely little details. But take a look. You have a sash with, I mean, it might be a dagger, acts as a short sword, but you have the lovely sash with the weapon tucked in there, some spell effects happening in, was this spell? No, the fists are clenched, take it back. The fists are clenched because this is the monk, and you can see this lovely action pose of ready to jump into battle. I always like that when the figure starts to tell a story already. I love the fact that the cloak has the tattered edges. This monk is moving and grooving, which is fantastic to see. And even just that little detail of having the foot tipped up, again, you get that sense of, pardon me, Laura, I locked my arm down. You get that sense of motion, which is just ever so wonderful with these. So that is the first one you get in the set, and here is the second one. This one is a very classic, like when I hear of monks, this is right before an attack, this is what I always mentally picture, like, you know, the pulling back and the ready to switch the arms really quickly. Action shot. But here is the second mini that comes with it. And again, even though it is a small miniature, there are some extra lovely details that are included on the belt. So you can see there's a buckle, there's some things dangling from it. And again, a cape tattered at the ends. I even love how the hair is like unkempt. You know, it's mussed up. You have that little almost like alfalfa sprout thing happen in the back. And once I open up in one of the other ones, I'll show you scale. Because this one is itchy. You can even tell with my thumbnail. I think my thumbnail is actually as tall, if not... Yeah, it's about the size of my thumbnail. So small. This is definitely a small thing. And I did have someone ask me the other day, how do I paint the really small miniatures? It's one of those things where I highly recommend, if you're going to be painting itty bitties, you can kind of cheat it. You could get, as a cheaper version, reading glasses. Just play around, like when you go to the pharmacy, play around with different ones. You can even bring a mini with you and see if that's the right prescription, I guess. What we call that, strength. So that's a quick cheat method to do it. Just make sure you have very good lighting when you do that. The other thing you can do for extremely small miniatures like these two, actually let me leave these out so you can see them to scale, is you can also get, there's like these fantastic visory, goggly things set up that you can use as well. All right, that's I'm trying to get to a, let's do, here we go, a human. So here we're gonna now take a look at, also coming out, the female human fighter. I am a huge fan of these poses, especially the one with the drawn bow, but those are the renders of the miniatures themselves. Yeah, there you go. You could use for your, lovely. We'll keep an eye out for it. And again, you'll get the renders on the back with the painted, how they look painted up. And then here you can see 90326. That number right there is the SKU. Okay. Once again, $4.99. 2 minis in the pack. Look for that purple, that lovely royal purple background for the Pathfinder Battles. Now, let's take a look at, quite frankly, this is my favorite one. Pose-wise, look at this. I love that tension of the arm drawn back and the bow ready to fire. You could even arguably use this one for a rogue, quite frankly. But once again, excellent little details. You're going to see more and more of these details working their way in. It's a fantastic pose. It really is. And look at the float of the cape, even the details in that boot. Like stitch details. Hello. I will call it bothers Bruce. And the hair. The hair has such lovely flowing motion to it. I'm probably going to end up painting this one. To be perfectly honest, this is one I would love to paint up. Because of the hair flow, because of the motion of the cape, because of the stance of the miniature in and of itself. It is, you know, that is true, Hilarious. It is so rare to get an action pose with a bow in this effect. So I'm honestly thrilled to see this. This excites me, especially because I'm one who likes to play rangers and I'm one who loves to use long bows, short bows. So yeah, for me, this truly speaks to me as both player and painter. So maybe down the line, I'll be giving this one some color. Let me show you the other one, and then I'm going to pull the gnome back so you can see for scale. Here is the other figure in that set, and I am such a fan. Look at all this detail in the bodice work and on the belts. The details are stunning. Hello, Ron Davis. How are you? Catty Bree Battlehammer is who I would make her to be. Interesting. You know, that would be fun. So there's the front. Let me spin around to the back. Look at this in the back. Again, you have the additional pouches and stuff slung around the belt. The hair that is nipped back in like the lower pony mode. Look, ponytail, I should say. Weapon drawn. Like, this is the don't mess with me pose. But truly lovely. Again, this is the female human fighter. Like I said, it could easily shift into rogue if you wanted. But here you have, look at, they're so wee. Here you have a sense of scale of the gnome. Or sorry, the halfling monk. The halfling monk. I'm saying gnome because I'm looking at the other gnome. So this is the halfling monk in comparison to the female human fighter. All right. And again, these are in the description in the YouTube channel. I will transfer that information over after the stream because Twitch is fun like that. But it gives you a sense of those. And let's continue on. I'm telling you. And just in case anyone's asking, this current wave, it will come with the classic black disc. Keep that in mind. The details really do keep. Every single time I'm seeing one of these new miniatures in the waves, the details are stunning and lovely to see and wonderful. And yes, they are all primed ahead of time. So that's, you know, take it out of the box, start painting if you so choose. Some people I know will like to go in and they might clean up some mold lines, things like that. Okay, here is the gnome. My apologies. The female gnome bard who... I might need to make a character for these because, oh, this is a fun one. Let me show you the basic, similar packaging to what it will look like in the package. So that's the female gnome bard. You can see, again, 2 poses, so another one of those $4.99 packs. And here you have a suggestion on how you could paint this up. And SKU here, right there, 90327. For the female gnome bard. Again, the other one was a halfling. I was over anticipating. I was getting ready for this one, and I was saying gnome instead of halfling. So, talk about we. Again, teensy tiny, but lots of details. Look at what's going on with the brim of the hat. Those notch bits out of the hat. It's those little additions. It's like this is the character who's been around. This is a character who is up to doing things. The instrument slung across the back. You have the band around the hat. There's even these lovely folds and details on the boots again. A bard doing finger guns, you know? So that is the first one. Again, even the belt has all these little details on it. And then let me show you the other one from the pack. Same thing. The hat has those excellent worn details. Look at the face, though. There's some lovely details. It's almost like this serene, surveying expression. But the bodice has some details, as you can see. Crossbow is lifted up, dagger in hand. This bard's not messing around. This bard would be like, if Cantriel were a gnome. Good morning, Leonardo. So yes, that is the female gnome bard. And let's put her up to the female human fighter. So you get your sense of scale. Ta-da. You know what I'll do? I'm going to put these in the background just to kind of give you a little sense of what you're looking at size-wise. Classic black disc, but for the smaller size, keep that in mind. All right, let's keep going. Oh, this one. Okay, I am very excited. And you're going to hear plastic because these are all in little baggies. Like I said, I'm getting the photography ones, so they're not in their blisters. So this one is the female human alchemist. This one's awesome. All right, let me show you the unpainted style first. So you see 2 figures, $4.99. Spell effects will be shown. Render paint suggestion. SKU is 90329. Let me put that down over there. And let me get these minis out because I'm excited about the fact it's the Alchemist. And these spell effects are incredible. So let's take a look here. Look at that. Okay? You see what's going on with the arms here? This was such a fun surprise to see the spell effect actually working its way into the form of the creature casting it. But then you're also seeing, look at all these details with the pouches on the belt, little items dangling. This is so perfect for an alchemist. All the way around. Chocked full of things. I love the fact that they look like they're bursting at the seams, a couple of the bags. But see? It's so cool looking. Even the boots, again, the boots, extra buckles, belt buckles. Isn't that lovely? And just this little detail, the straining in the fabric because the arms are being pulled forward. Like I said, so many of these poses are working to retell a story. Let's show you the second one, which again, really cool. You can see, this is why I got excited about this one. It was just such a neat take on what happens. I'm really enjoying the look. Look at this. I'm stuck looking at the details. Sorry, forgive. But again, you can see all of these different means of carrying things attached through various methods, whether it's on the belt, whether it's across the chest, the magic happening in the hands, and this look of determination. Quite a fan of this one. This is another good one. Out of the two, I like this one just because of the open arm pose. So I'm going to put that one there. Again, just so you kind of see the scale you're working with. Now let's continue on. You know, I don't know, Hilarious, that answer well enough. I don't play Pathfinder personally. But any type of awesome spell effect will always get me smiling. All right, now we're going to move on to the Balisse and the Astral Deva. And this is another beautiful pair. I accidentally folded the card. So there's a little streak down the center, but that goes to show you the two that'll be coming in this set. Disregard the whoops, that's something more for stores. And here are the renders of them painted up. And SKU is 90330. I'm going to tuck that over there, and let me remove from my plastic bag classic medium disc, black disc. Who am I going to show off first? I'm going to show off this one first. Take a look. For a medium mini, look at the details in the wings. And I am such a fan of this pose. Held aloft by this transparent, almost like windswept effect. The wigs are fantastic. Oh, Ron, don't worry. I can relate completely. So you can see, and again, a lot of this is not a paint issue. This is because I got them loose and they were shipped to me. So some of the primer got chipped a little bit, which is why I wanted to make sure it was clear that this is from minis that were already open and used for photography purposes for e-com. So that's why she's a little bit dinged up on the one side, because she was floating around in a bunch of minis in a plastic bag. That's an easy enough fix. If it's something where you want to fix what's going on here, if you are new, you know I will tell you can use a hairdryer, then dip it into cold water while holding it in place, or you can don't do boiling water, that'll strip the primer. You can do hot water, dip that in hot water and reposition it. But this is just, in and of itself, a stunning mini. I love the grace in it. The grace and the strength really are what's translating through with this beauty. Let me show you the other one, because we want to talk about motion. Here we go. And this is why I wanted to save this one, because the wings are that transparent plastic. So you can have some really good times using washes and inks to bring out those details, to add some color to the wings. But also, as you can see with my light box, the light play through it and add this gorgeous, ethereal, magical quality to the mini. But also, I am such a fan with how the fabric has been used to get the figure up and in flight. Whereas the other one was using that clear plastic, this one, it's almost like they're flying back and you can hear the whoop of the wings. But it's stunning. This set together, both of them are beautiful. Another ones that'll be like, this is the I want to paint them box. When I get to them is a different story, but this is the I want to paint them box. All right, so again, that was the Balisse and the Astral Deva. And I'm going to just tuck them. And you can see they're a little bit bigger just because of the fact they're lifted up. But is that fire on her head? It could be fire, yes. Let me look. It's to match the wings, so you could absolutely give it fire to the wings look too. However you want to do the hair. Or the fire. The fire hair? The flame hair? What would we call that? It's truly stunning though. I mean, really. Such a beautiful sculpt. Yeah, these two are definitely like, oh boy. That and the Archer are my like total favorites out of this one. No wig for her. Now we're gonna get into the cool monsters that you can expect with this Wave 15 UPM for Pathfinder Battles. Deep cuts. When it says deep cuts means it's unpainted. This one's just... Here we're going to take a look at the giant centipede. So there's its render unpainted. And here is a rendered painted version for you to see. SKU is 90332. Take a look at this fellow. I mean, this is creepy, yo. But you have this great texture in the plates and the segments and all those lovely little, like this is when you get, like imagine that skittering across the floor, but this size in comparison to a medium. I mean, hello. I wouldn't be too happy, but I'd fight it. I might have a hesitant step back nope. But yeah, this giant centipede is just, I'd want to paint it just because I love being able to get in and paint them to have like a hyper realistic, with insects for some reason I'll try and get hyper realistic for them. But look at various centipedes and see if there's one that I could use as inspiration for it. This one is a giant centipede, is its official title for Pathfinder. And the base is large. See, there's its base. In comparison to, let me get a medium out. So here's a medium base, stacked on top. And then I'll get the small stacked on that. Okay? So there you go. There's the breakdown of that one. And don't forget, if you have a question for me, make sure you type in caps question, just because it makes it easier for me to see your question. But yeah, it's a good size mini. So I'm going to put that one in the back there. Again, Pathfinder Battles Deep Cuts Wave 15 coming out July. Okay? July 2021. Pardon me while I make a little bit more space on my tablet. And finally, this is honestly my favorite, and this is one I absolutely exception. This is one I definitely want to make sure is in my to be painted pile because it is wicked cool. Again, large base, large black disc base. And here we have the Brain Collector. I'm not kidding. Look at this. That mouth. And the and here is its painted version. There's a lot of eyes happening on this thing. So here is the Brain Collector on its render form. And now let's take a look at the mini itself, which, as you can see, some very cool features. And you have these little domes that you can play around with. All right. See all those fantastic domes? Which, if you're careful, this is more of like I've noticed, you could pop them off if you wanted to. I don't think I'd be careful about it so you can get to what's happening underneath. Somebody is watching you. It's like a mix of a spider and a crab and a beetle. It's so awesome. And the texture, it's almost like this stony, beat up, worn stone look. Just look at that, and let's get a top view for you. Isn't that lovely? It's just, oh, it's such a great effect. And then again, I'm gonna pull so you can see a medium side by side. Oh, hilarious. But there you have your side by side. I mean, that's gonna ruin someone's day. so darn lovely. The details in it are wonderful. So that is the Pathfinder Battles deep cuts that you can expect for the UPM Unpainted miniatures that are coming out in July 2021. So the next round I want to show you, again, give me a chance to clear some space over here. It's interesting, the plastic baggies actually take up more space on my desk. And that's also why you hear the crinkling all the time. And now let's take a look at, again, pardon. Let's take a look at the new Starfinder Battles deep cuts. Okay, so these are ones that you could very much have coincide with your Starfinder Battles, with the Planets of Peril, the Galactic Heroes, Galactic Villains, basically all from the same concept for the Starfinder game itself. Again, I'm sorry about the plastic bags crinkling, but if I took these all out at the same time, it gets messy real fast. Okay, so I'm going to see who would be fun to present first, because these are, here, we'll start with the human mechanic. The design of these, I will say, beyond just Starfinder, would be fantastic for any outer space adventure. You might also be able to use some of these for like a Cthulhu-esque type of game, but they're all, the details are just hello. So I'm going to start you with the human mechanic. And obviously with Starfinder, you're going to see, instead of that almost parchment map-like background that Pathfinder Battles has, you have this galactic starscape instead. And then flip over. Here is the painted version. And you can see SKU is 90333. Okay, that's your SKU number. $4.99, two a pack. And let's take a look at these. Medium in stature for these two. And here is the first one. And this has such an epic, almost like closing scene to an episode of a show or something like that. I don't know. It's just this iconic pose of the wind is whipping through the tattered cape. Weapon is at the ready. Goggles are on. It's almost like you could picture this mini in a sandstorm. But notice the texture and the details. This is one of those minis I will recommend before you go to paint it, study it, because you'll find there are extra little details that you won't catch on first glance. Time to blow the bridge ship. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. It's such a powerful pose. It's elegant and powerful at the same time, which I am all about. So that is the first one in this set. Again, this is the human mechanic from the Starfinder Battles deep cuts, new line that will be coming out in July. But now take a look at this one. You have the torch. Now, of course, you can paint things up to be opaque in this case. But yeah, you can have a lot of fun with that one. But once again, you can see, pause just a second, all of these extra details added to the outfit, armor, whatever you would prefer to call it. It's just, I really like these. Again, like I said, perfect for really any type of space encounter-esque campaign. Beautifully incorporated into your Starfinder Battles. Why not? So that is the human mechanic, and I will place them a little bit more forward there. They're gorgeous. I'm not kidding. These are, I'm excited about this line, and I'm excited to see what else is going to come of Starfinder Battles because of all this beautiful, like those extra, like, you know, the rivet heads and the ding in the metal and things like that that you're going to see. It is wonderful additional touches that enhance the miniatures and really help start develop the story behind the character too, especially when you present it on the table. One quick sip. Stay golden. All right, who's up next? Let's go to the Casata Operative. Because again, wicked cool sculpt. 2 in a pack. Look at that with the face coverings, but look at the details. You can even just see on the renders. And here you have the render painted up version. SKU is 90334. All right, so that's their calling card, so to speak. I just put you over there. Okay, let's take a look. I don't really have a favorite out of the two, so I'm just going to grab and go. Medium. So medium black disc. But look at... This is... Remember how I said there's these little extra details happening in the armor? You have these grooves, these etchings. Even with the positioning of the arms, the fact that it's not the two top arms doing something, you have a top arm working a weapon and you have one of the bottom arms on the opposite side working a weapon, which I just find so fantastic. Good for hugs. Absolutely. Okay, if you were going to paint this mini, I'm getting a ringing in my ear, sorry. If you're going to paint this mini, I would actually recommend, just to sort of help you see all of these details, do a very light-handed black wash, and it'll show off all these little grooves and rivets and patterns, so that if you wanted to have fun and start playing around with, well, maybe it's not the same color for the entire set of armor, maybe there's different pieces of metal for each section. But I would recommend doing that with these two to bring out the details in the armor, because there's so much that's not popping out right now, even though I did my best to raise the contrast on my camera. It's beautifully done, and especially for a medium miniature. So that's the first one. Let's take a look at the second one. You want more pre-painted Starfinder minis? Yeah, and that's just it, because I think so many of us have been exposed to the sci-fi genre of movies and shows and cartoons. These types of figures, even though they may not be based in the brand that we've fallen in love with, they remind us of that nostalgic connection. So I'm finding that these Starfinder based miniatures, whether it's the pre-painted or unpainted, are resonating with a lot of people, and I think it's just wonderful seeing that happen. But again, look at this texture. Like I said, absolutely do a light black wash on these so you can see everything that is happening. The cape isn't quite as tattered as the Pathfinder Bard, but you can see it has seen some better days. And once again, this positioning of having the arms in different poses. It's wonderful. It really, really is. It is a little bit more of like the, try me type of feel to it. I agree. All right, so let me put this one out. No. Oh. There we go. My velvet is like some folds in it, so I'm trying to balance these. Okay, so that is, again, that was the pair of Casata Operatives. You can get two. Now, I'm going to save those. Yeah, let's go to the Sheeran Technomancer. This one's fun too. Technomancer! Okay, let's look here. The card first. Sheeran Technomancer. You can see this insectoid-like look to these. And painting suggestions. SKU is 90335. A dance-off. I have actually run a dance-off in one of my games. Was not expecting that to happen, but they all jumped into it to the point some of them were getting up out of their chairs and showing what move they would do on the dance floor. The goblin one. Okay, let's take a look at this one first. It's just this mandible detail. Medium in size, by the way. But, see? See how there's this texture detail in the fabrics? And all of these little gadgets and gizmos slung upon straps and belts. This is another one I would very much recommend. Do a light black wash to help you see everything that's going on here before you jump into painting. You have a little bit of clear plastic spell effect happening in an open palm. And the haunches, it's just so cool. So that's the first one. Yoink. And then let me share the second with you. This one is also, it's got, talking about those, yeah, try me type of poses. This one's a no nonsense. Quick at the draw, but look at this detail here. And I like the fact that these are deeper details, so it's not something you're gonna lose with a coat of paint. You can have a lot of fun drawing out those details. And look at the back. Very different take on a cape. Again, this is the second Sheeran Technomancer. Truly, in my opinion, a strong set because of all these little tiny little details that are incorporated into it. It's beautifully done. And yes, I am fully geeking out. I will admit when I am geeking out over miniatures. Next up, no, I'm gonna save, those guys are my favorite, so I'm saving them. Let's take a look at the Vesque Soldier. Oh my god, these are fun. When the mandibles didn't clue you in enough. Okay, so here is the Vesque Soldier. Some reptilian bloodline, you can tell in there. And then on the back, you can see suggestions for how you could paint this up. SKU is 90336. Pack of 2, $4.99. And then, let me take out the first guy. The first guy, oh my gosh. This is a fun one. Hello, my friend. They're on the larger side of medium though. Just to kind of give you an idea. All right. But take a look. You have all these fantastic sharp mechanical edges going on here with the armor. The rivets, the connection points. You might need an oil can. Railgun power armor reptoid. Heck yeah, right? This is a Gatling gun almost. And the power packs in the back. Say hello to my little friend. But also, you go from having, this is the stuff that I always like gasp upon. You go from the very mechanical sharp edges of the armor to look at what happens with the tail. There's this beautiful detail of scale work happening with the tail. You get the creature itself, like a bit of the creature coming out beyond just, you know, the head popping out of the top of the armor. The scales, right? The scales! So there's the first one. Here's the second of the two for the Vesque Soldier. And this is definitely a come at me, try me. What's up? Look at, see the boots? You see what I'm seeing in the boots? Multiple straps, buttons, the groove to the soles. Again, scaliness with the tail. Not as armored up. Oh, thank you, Paizo. Thanks for joining us. These are, such a fan of these ones. You even get a hint of like the abdomen right through there. We get 2 of the 6-pack, oh my gosh. But the chest plate armor even has the details on it, and you can have some fun here, again with this transparent plastic. You can make it look like that blade is glowing. All right. The Paizo guys are here, yes! But look at this. See, these are the details I, as a mini painter, go, oh! See that texture? Such a strong collection for a sci-fi-esque collection. They are wonderful. They are exciting. Quite frankly, it's exciting. I will put this dude out. So we have that dude. He's falling out of frame. He's falling behind my frame. There we go. In the background, just so you can enjoy. You can bask in the Vesque That was not intentional, I swear. We really need a word to describe the feeling when you are absolutely enamored with the details, pose, sculpt, flair of a mini. Twitter-pated. How about that? Okay. This is the final set from the Starfinder Battles deep cuts, and they're my favorite. Okay? These to me are akin to what the goblins are in Pathfinder Battles in terms of appeal. So we're going to take a look at the Skittermander Envoy. And they are just... See what I mean, though? You get those grins. You can't help but smile when you look at these. And there you can see, painted version. And SKU 90337. All right, let's take a look. This is the last set from the new Starfinder Battles coming out in June. Oh my gosh, I just have such fun with these. So here we have our first wee friend. Again, 4 arms, all doing something different. Oh, don't you fall on me. This is the problem when they get to be itty bitty. Hold on, there we go. Lock them in my fingernails. So here you can see the back. Look at that detail work. The draping of the fabric. So much fun. Whoop. And there you have, just look at that expression. Now there are goblins in Starfinder. I'm not saying there aren't goblins, but for me, personally, I have a similar reaction to seeing Pathfinder goblins as I do seeing the Starfinder Battles Skittermanders. They're just so much fun. Hello, Viper Taha! So that's the first. And let me snag so you can get a sense of scale. Scale. See? They're adorable. Yeah, this is where fabric is. Man down, man down. We're fine. All right, and let's show off the last one, because quite frankly, it's the last one whose pose tickles my funny bone. So here is the second of the two, and this is the one who is going to sit and chat and be fantastic for roleplay for sure, because what a personality. Oh, it looks like they have 6. Is it 6 arms? Did I miscalculate, or do they vary? Like I said, I'm not as familiar with... Oh, it's 6 arms. Forgive me. Forgive me. They have 6 here. But look at that. Isn't that just so much fun? The cuffs, the folded hands, the one up, the open hand. This is an encounter I want to see happen. So that is the Skittermander. If a sleazy Skittermander ain't gonna give you a shady mission, who will? That is a very good question. So, okay, again, that is everything you can expect for both Pathfinder Battles deep cuts as well as Starfinder Battles, which are new deep cuts that will be coming out in July 2021. Always reach out to your FLGS. Let them know you are interested. If you're not sure if there's an FLGS near you, you can go to whizkids.io/local store, plug in all that wonderful information in terms of your address, how far you're willing to travel, and it will give you a list of stores who carried WizKids products. Now, there have been some issues in terms of some of the stores listed there either have been closed for a little bit, may not be open anymore, which is why I always recommend please make sure to contact them either via email or give them a call first. Many stores are doing things like appointment-based visiting of the stores. Others are doing curbside pickup, where they'll get the order pulled together for you. You give them your charge card over the phone. They will leave that outside for you, so you can go in and pick it up. No problem. Boom, boom, done. Some will even ship for an additional fee. So do keep in mind that your local stores are doing everything they can to make sure you are also still getting these products. So you can let them know that that's what you have your eye on. So this is for the deep cuts involving Pathfinder and Starfinder. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see spacey, cool UPM heading our way because they really are fantastic. So that all being said, we're going to quickly switch gears and move on to a quick little, like I said, we're going to have a middle of the show news update. So, my dears, don't forget, next Friday, I am doing another one of those paint parties that we are doing with WizKids. We're going to have some fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that Red Slad Paint Night kit, the one that we initially used when Greg and Shelly joined me for the first WizKids paint party, and we're actually going to have some fun and turn it green. Yes, green. So there's going to be a green slot approach to it. So it's the red slot gone green, and I'm going to have two fantastic guests. I am beyond eager to have them join me. They're not just guests, they're friends. So it's going to be a really fun evening. So please join me along with Brian Gray and Eugenio Vargas so that we can take a look. They've never painted a mini before, so I'm excited for this one. So we can take a look at getting this red slot turned green. And if you already have the paints left from your Red Slot Paint Night kit, all you need to do is go into your store, because they're out now, and you can purchase the red slot in its blister. Okay, I think it's an $8.99 blister for that one. Yeah, because it's yellow backing. So you can pick that one up at your store and then just use the paint kit and continue painting the green slot. If you missed out on getting a Red Slot Paint Night kit, then by all means, you're going to go to wizkits.io/redslot. You're going to use that store locator to find out participating stores and let them know that you want one of these kits, and hopefully they will have them in supply. You may have to contact a couple. You might even have some who will be willing to ship it to you type of situation, but these are in stores only. However, after a certain period of time, you will start seeing these available across other avenues beyond just in-store only, but we're giving the stores a certain period of time to have these in stock before they go on to online things. And that's just it. I wanted to show that these kits are more than just a one-shot wonder. I have painted 6 miniatures now from just one round of Red Slot miniature paints. So you do get a lot of mileage with these paints, which is something I wanted to be sure was also sort of conveyed. It's not once you buy the kit, you can't use this paint for other things. You absolutely can. So do keep that in mind. And then just quick note about these. Even though I will be moving along in my own career away from WizKids, I will still be doing these paint nights, which is something we just discussed today. So you'll see me once a month doing these paint nights with special guests, and we'll be having fun with these paint night kits. There's some other permutations too down the line, which might be fun. That all being said, what I'd like to do, let me just quickly clear. So that is going to happen July 9th. We're starting at we're starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. And it's one of those things where you just join in and have some fun with us. A fun way to bring a close to the Friday before the weekend kicks into gear. Yes, Ron Davis, I guess you may have missed my socials announcement. I have had... I've actually had a lovely opportunity come my way, so I will be moving on. This is actually my last, July 9th will be my last day at WizKids into evening doing the paint party, but I'm still going to be doing some freelance work with them for the paint party, so I'm not disappearing completely. I am still very much going to be a part of the industry. I will let you know later on down the line as to where you can find me next. It's one of those things where a door opened. It's fantastic, and I'm excited for it, but it's very bittersweet, personally for me, and also it's one of those things where I will very much be using my own channels again. You'll see me doing mini painting over there on my channels, and like I said, you'll see me here on the WizKids channels for some really fun paint night events. We have some really fantastic guests that we're getting into line and everything like that, so I'll still be saying hi at these things. Okay? So actually the last Mini Mayhem will be next Wednesday, where I'm going to show off the lovely D&D Nolzers, as well as the Magic the Gathering UPM for Wave 15. And oh my gosh, are there some minis for that one too. For all of you liking these details, make sure to come back next week. So that's the bit of news that I wanted to remind you about. Get your kits or get your slod, and then you can join us, and instead of a whole bunch of red menacing creatures, we'll have a whole bunch of green menacing creatures who don't let them get too close to you because it's not good. Thank you so much. And again, I'm not disappearing. Some people are like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm not going too far. I'll share more as I get closer to when I feel comfortable announcing the next step. But again, I'm not leaving WizKids completely. I will still be working with them freelancing as I have been. It's just going to be consolidated to doing the paint parties. So now what I'm going to do is flip back to overhead. However, we're going to do a little rotation here. Okay, so let's take a look now at the WizKids deep cuts. And these again are also targeted for July 2021. And there's a couple of cool aspects that are coming along with this one. The first thing I'm going to do is show you the miniatures. The classic miniatures and blisters, and then I'm going to show you 2 more things that you can expect that are downright awesome. So it's 2 sets that will be coming out in the deep cuts, and I'm deciding which one. Let's do the Bounty Hunter and the Outlaw first. Both of these are medium in size for the groupings. So here you have the WizKids deep cuts, Bounty Hunter and Outlaw. Oh, thank you so much, Leonardo. And here it is in the back. SKU is 90339. All right, all that information. It does! The Bounty Hunter and the Outlaw in a world. Yeah, that's where my brain just went. In a world where things come out and attack. Call upon the Bounty Hunter and Outlaw. So here we have the Bounty Hunter first. Again with that clear arm. In this case it's more so you can give the oh, I know the technical term for this, when the bullet leaves the chamber, but you have the flash from when the bullet is leaving the chamber, that you can have fun with the clear plastic and then paint the rest of the arm to be opaque. And the other drawn in hand. Wait, that's a candle, isn't it? Yes, it's a candle. I guess to light the flint, or to light the, I don't know how those guns work very well, but you know what I mean. And you see the daggers slung across the chest. Little pouch, most likely, where the bullets are kept. All these fantastic textures. Again, you've got this quilted look to the leggings. And the fabric is definitely like that worn, beat-up leather. Well, Sub Commandante 73. Hang on a moment, because you're going to see something. But yeah, the Starfinder ones are fantastic. And then let me show you the Outlaw. I just love this. Everything is covered but the eyes. Crossbow. It's a fun one. Tattered cape in the back. Not too terribly much. Look at the detail stitching in the quiver. You know, we do. Tricorn hats are becoming a thing. I think it's fantastic. There's folds in the fabric. That's just it. This is another one of those I would recommend giving it a very light black wash to bring out the details before you go into painting, because it'll help you see everything that is going on here. Even the stitch work in the bodice area is stunning. See, every time you turn it, you see a little bit more detail. So that, again, was the Bounty Hunter and Outlaw. You get the 2 together in a set, $4.99. Coming at you July 2021, my dears. And I am going to... How come you fit before, but you didn't now? I'm going to put it back in its little plastic baggie, because these are starting to... my desk. I should show you. I'll flip the camera around before I leave so you can see how my workspace works out. Now this one's fun. This one is a lot of fun just because of the novelty of it. You get a plague doctor and a cultist as well. Look at that. You really can't have enough of these. And here is the painted version. Plague doctor shows up a little dark. Trying to get the light to play on it better. There you go. And SKU is 90338 for this WizKids deep cuts. And now, what do you say we take a look at the minis? I'm going to start with the cultist first because I know everyone wants to see the plague doctor. Medium in size. And I'm sorry, I cannot help but hear this one saying, "What up?" just from the positioning. But it's this pompous, like, I am the greatest. And you get these beautiful fold details in the fabrics. The sash being crossed over. You even have like that little dip that happens in fabric when it's a belled sleeve, as you can see here on the robe. Really, really, it's more of a simply presented miniature in terms of details on the clothing. But the pose is what makes it this open-armed, raised up, you know, this summoning, I have the power, not a certain, you know what I mean. I didn't pull a sword out, so we're good. But yeah. Oh, I'm already like kind of playing around with who this fellow could be in my mind. And now, let's take a look at the Plague Doctor, because quite frankly, this one's fun. There's a lot happening here. The mask itself, you can see all of that extensive detail. The strain in certain areas of the leather, or the leather clothing, I should say. The straps wrapped around the chest, the buckles. No. It's the problem when I'm trying to hold it very lightly at the bottom so you can actually see. Hold on. Would be a good source. It would be a good sorcerer. That's just it. Like, yes, there are names attached to these, but like we said before, the female human fighter could easily be a rogue. Not a rogue. Well, actually a rogue. Ranger, too. The one with the drawn bow. But just look at all this. Even the pommel has details on it for the sword. And the lantern. That glowing lantern. Look at the folds in the boots. And there's actually extra details in the boots too. I mean, everything has a little extra touch. You know, quite frankly, just do light black washes on everything. Not fully kidding. It does come in handy when you're trying to get a good amount of minis painted up at the same time. If you do a black wash ahead of time, it kind of helps accelerate the process. It is such a fun set. This is one I would actually recommend people just snag to have in their collections, because there's sort of a quick and easy encounter too, to have those going. So that's the WizKids Deep Cuts, the two sets. However, I have also the unpainted Ballista and the unpainted Trebuchet. So what you'll see are these, and these come in their own boxes like so. These are going for $29.99. So if you saw the 4D settings War Machines, the painted versions, these are the unpainted versions, and they come in these fantastic boxes. Ballista. Ballistas are fun. I'm sorry, but I enjoy seeing a ballista in a combat situation because it really antes up the urgency, doesn't it? So here's the box itself. In fact, let me put it here. This is where I'm going to need to play with, because remember I said we're going to be playing around with different size miniatures here. Let me fix the focus. There we go. So here you can see the ballista. Get the artwork all around. Again, primed, ready to use. WizKids Deep Cuts. So now I'm going to take this out. Yeah, I very much enjoyed that unpainted camp set too. That was a really strong collection of different things. Just making sure I'm not doing this right under my camera. It is a clamshell blister, which means it has those 4 connection points and everything like that. So I'm gonna pop it out. Oh my gosh, an artificer with a ballista or flamethrower. You mean business. Okay, so here, there's some fun aspects to this too. I am going to tell you this. When you go to paint this, be careful with the load of paint you're going to put into certain areas. And let me show you why. Because this is not a stationary miniature. See what's happening here? You have it moving up, down, back and forth, spinning around. So at these connection points, you can see, you can pop this one out, okay? Just do not get heavy-handed at those points. All right, because then you will run into issues of getting it to snap back into place like so. But this one doesn't pull out. This one, just be careful when you're painting so you don't get it to freeze up. but it's a fun, move it around type of thing. It's not fully functioning. You cannot fire toothpicks at people from this ballista. But I think it's great to see these larger minis have some, because you can then, you know, ballista swings around and prepares to fire at the east. Swings around, prepares to fire at the northwest. Things like that are really great to see. And look at the rope detail happening here. You have wood grain throughout all of the wooden pieces. Look at the base even. And it has some heft to it too. All right, let me, quickly, I'm just gonna pull my, there you go for sense of scale. What it looks like. You know, we keep bringing you dragons. You have to have something to fight the dragons, don't you? So that's the ballista. Quite nicely done. I am a fan, especially the moving around factor. It's just so much fun. Definitely adds a new element to mini painting and to your collection. Now the next one is the trebuchet. You can see here, same thing. It's like a golden orange yellow for the color of the box. This one's also $29.99. You can see it in its case. Let me take this out. Oh, and the SKUs on these, forgive me. The SKU on this one is 90340. Okay. Add it to the back of a dragon. Ooh, air raid. Air raid. So I'm going to take this out. Again, plastic clamshell setup. Ooh! Sorry about that. And here, this really gives you a sense of scale against myself. This is a sizable mini to paint. But, gosh, there's so many cool details here. Now, unlike the ballista, this doesn't have moving parts to it. People are saying, oh, well, can I actually fling something? No. No, you cannot. But look at these fantastic details between the wood grain, the nail heads, the rivets, the rope wrapped around, I guess it's a mast, the post, the arm, the netting, gear work, the rope. This is just a fun one to paint because of all the various texture that has come into play. Look at that rope that's coiled around. And the net itself. Let me just grab a mini really quick. See? Gives you a sense of scale. But no, it's all stationary. It's all fixed into place. Unlike the ballista. But it's another fantastic war machine. So if you wanted to kind of give this your own flair and own look, you absolutely could. But look at it, just placed on a table. It has a presence. You do not want to throw a nat 1 when rolling. No, don't. I don't recommend it. Not that I'm speaking from absolute experience. Sorry. But yes, that is the trebuchet. $29.99, primed already, so all you need to do is pull these out and start painting them. And that is from the WizKids Deep Cuts line for Wave 15. Room for a halfling and a halfling rogue in that. You know? I like that idea. So yes, that is, for today, the last mini that I had to share with you. So, give me just a moment here. Let me get the main screen here. So, thank you so much for joining me today. Again, next week we're going to be taking a look at the UPM for Nolzur's Marvelous Miniatures, as well as Magic the Gathering Unpainted Miniatures. Oh, there are some beauties that are involved with both of them. So hopefully, please do make a point to join me. It will also be the last Mini Mayhem. So, you know, we can have some fun geeking out over miniatures and enjoying all these extra details and talking about how we would paint them, how we would use them, which ones are inspiring us to create characters and loveliness like that. And then don't forget, next Friday is also WizKids Paint Party 3, where we're going to be turning the red slab green. So make sure you get your kits for that one. This has been a lovely little bit over an hour. Not too bad. This has been a lovely time. Thank you so much to everyone who's been hanging out with me in the chats. As always, it's great to see you, hanging and chatting and interacting with each other, asking me questions, reacting to the miniatures. Always a good time. So I am going to wrap this up the same way I do for any of the streams that you'll see me on. Until next week, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and I'll see you on the flip side. Take care, everyone. Bye!